You are
Yay.
in Amsterdam hosting crypto meetups. What is your experience with Western people using crypto? Why are they using it? Do they want to make more euros, or are they? No, I'm not gonna give you. And please talk.
First of all, thank you for having me on this stream. I love meeting new people and new communities, and I don't know, I really like your first guest. I really look forward to the rest of the stream today. So, first of all, thank you for taking the time to celebrate this day. Recognize that this was a historical day 13 years ago. So, yeah, really important.
Yeah.
Really important. Um, yes, I have a little bit of experience in organizing events and managing communities here in the Netherlands. It's been crazy. Like I discovered crypto through these meetups, right? This was my own school. Like I went to to meetups, and that's where I met people, got hooked up basically, and just never left the space. And now it's my wonderful responsibility and duty to organize these events and bring people together.
Can I
And
ask a
that's
quick
yeah.
question? Is that the Bitcoin Meetup Amsterdam in Pakhuis de Zwijger that they do once every month by Richard?
No,
No? Oh,
no.
different one.
I was um I was a volunteer at that one actually. That was where I discovered crypto for the first time. My first 3 months in crypto, I was a volunteer and selling alcohol actually at those events. But it was great. It was a great place to just again meet, start. You have to start somewhere,
Hmm.
and crypto's so weird. Like you need and being with people, I think from the beginning really helped me. Um, I would say that in the Netherlands, there's a lot of may I dare say like OGs. Like there's a lot of people that have been in the space for a long time. People that were part of the internet, people really, I'm talking people that have been in the space for a long time. And those people inspired me from the get-go and were, I guess, shaped as well my way of thinking about cryptocurrency because I think they saw all these youngsters coming up in 2017 and like, oh my God, let's like make sure that they have the right values, right? So from the meetup community, values of censorship, resistance, permissionlessness, open source, all of those like cypherpunk ideas basically were infused right from the get-go. So that was my crypto school, I guess, those meetups. But overall, in the Netherlands, we have millions of users of crypto, but not using crypto for payments. I think the majority are traders. There's, disposable income in the Netherlands, and people are go-getters, and there's a lot of entrepreneurship, and it's encouraged. So I would say the majority of people in crypto are traders in the
In what
Netherlands,
way is
but
it
there's also some
encouraged?
spenders.
In what way? Because my experience is that it's discouraged in the Netherlands. If you say I own Bitcoin,
Mm.
everybody will say you are a unvaccinated bad person.
No, not
No?
anymore.
Oh.
It's so many. No, I feel like now it's like, yeah, duh, yeah, I have Bitcoin. Now, do they have their private keys and do they use it? Are they putting it on a wallet? No, that part. I'm working on it.
Hmm, hmm.
That's my segment, right? But they know of it. They've heard about it. There's a lot of like these sororities and fraternities, and there's a lot of groups where people exchange tips on just on life and on money, and so I've experienced that a lot. There's that goes around, and yeah, it's pretty mainstream. I would say crypto now. It's not. It's not. When the first Bitcoin Arnhem Bitcoin City, that was 2014. 300 merchants using cryptocurrencies in Arnhem. That's gone,
I know,
right?
because of
High fees,
regulations.
exactly. Regulations, high fees. I would say the second wave of regulations that kind of killed the space would be the AMLD5, right? Where it required a lot of uh, crypto providers to give much more information about their users, basically. But like companies like BitTonic right away were like, you're asking too much, and that's not what we're going to do. They won that case. But other exchanges like Deribit are in Panama now, so
Yeah.
it's like, some are staying and fighting the regulations, and others are like, okay, this is just going to cost us like 300K to be compliant. We don't want to play this game. But others are thriving. One of my partners with the meetups is Bitvavo, cryptocurrency exchange. They're doing great, like really, but centralized exchange. It's not the crypto cypherpunk dream here, but in terms of business, yeah.
Great. So if I
So
give away my
it's a
1
mix.
million EFL, we get a listing on Bitvavo.
Ooh, I did not say
We are
that.
very far away from getting enough exposure for such an exchange with EFL. Although it's the oldest Dutch crypto, it's almost 8 years old. But it's funny
Hmm.
you mentioned Bitcoin, R&M Bitcoin stud. I got videos
Yeah.
from that in 2014. I paid everybody a drink with Bitcoin there.
Oh wow! Thank you. Go you. And you spend and replace, right? Because I hate that Bitcoin Pizza Day. It shocks everybody. Like, oh my god, those pizzas were worth 80 million. I'm like, no, no, no. It's $40, and you replace your crypto.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
how do you feel about that? Do you need
personally,
I want a pin for the hall of people who spend their crypto early.
Personally, I do not replace because my bank account was closed in 2014. So it's difficult.
Whoa!
So I make money trading and then I can spend it, but I do not
Wow!
replace. Uh,
Interesting.
but yeah, um, I am not complaining. I remember the first time I used Bitcoin in a transaction, I bought a sandwich from Thuisbezorgd. This is
Yeah.
takeaway.com.
Yeah.
And it costed me around 0.15 Bitcoin for a sandwich. Bitcoin was at $100 back then,
Yeah.
and I thought it was cheap. And today it's $7,500 for a sandwich. But it was great fun, and everybody in the room was flabbergasted that wow, it is strange internet money, and now we get a sandwich from it. How is
Yeah.
that possible? So
It's amazing. It's magical.
yeah,
Like people,
Yeah.
it's still magic. It's still like for you. You've been doing this for so long. It's part of your life. You have no more fiat bank account. Like you embody the
well,
cypherpunk
I
or
I
crypto.
try.
No, but it means I think people need to hear these stories more. They don't realize that you can use it for payments. It's always mind blowing for people. They come into the space with dollar signs in their eyes, and my first job is to sort of
Yeah,
you know
yeah, yeah,
so,
yeah.
let's start again. What is money?
Hey, and tell
That's
me,
literally
how many people visit your meetups, and how often do you have
yeah,
those meetups? Where do you hold them?
yeah,
What is the
yeah.
setting?
So,
Does
you
it cost
know,
money to participate?
no, no. So versus Richard and past experiences where I remember I had to like check people's transactions on the
Okay.
blockchain because no, mine are free. All my events are free, online or in person. I want them free. My business model is that I have sponsors basically that help me, pay the venue, my time, all that stuff.
Uh-huh.
So that's the logistics of it. I'm a little bit heartbroken because I wanted to launch a second format this month and it doesn't look good. But basically, Crypto Drinks is on the last Wednesday of each month, and approximately 100 people were coming, and it was super fun. And it was in the center of Amsterdam, on the Herengracht, at the Bali, and it was really fun. It was like in that old bank vault thing, and it was like, and then we went for after drinks because never enough drinks at the Duke of Tokyo. So that was a great format, and I love it. And it's just pure networking. We've also added on top of that a crypto salon where people could bring stuff that they made. Like I'm also like a pottery person, so I also make pottery. So then you could we had like a sort of a peer-to-peer marketplace for art. Like these shoes were done by one of our local artists, and we paid in crypto. So that was also happening at the same time. And I also, of course, mint NFTs, co-ops for people attending. So that's just like a nice
Mm.
extra little thing to get. And then I was launching Crypto Tech on the second Wednesday of each month, where I wanted lightning talks about protocol development, startups, and just being able to have a more techie side where people could actually talk about, what they're working on, developments, etc. So
Cool.
I don't think that's going to happen, but we'll see. And then
Well, you
Crypto
don't know.
101,
You
yeah.
are here now. Big things can happen.
Yeah, yeah, okay, let's allow events again in person. They're so important. And I do teach online every last Wednesday of the month as well at 6 p.m., 1 hour class about basics of crypto. That's also free. But that's online, which is also nice because it's for then all the world can be there. You know what I mean? Like it's not just the local peeps. And I always end that class with a BCH airdrop. So
Cool.
that's how I do it. That's what I
Nice.
do.
Yeah.
So when are you coming?
Well, I am a little bit stuck because I'm not taking part in the medical experiment, or at least I am in the control group, as I like to say.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice. I
So,
should have
but
put in here.
traveling is a little bit difficult at the moment, as nobody accepts my diplomatic passport at the
I
moment.
love. Wow, you're gonna be like, you really need to get those. We need to get those SSIs going on, self-sovereign identity. So this is like a thing of the past to be verified by a centralized identity, so that Yo and Me can be like, yep, Yoshi exists.
Yeah,
He's a
exactly.
person.
Well, I prove that I exist every day on stream.
Right.
But yeah, when I'm coming over, well, I left the Netherlands like 3 years ago because I got so
Wow.
tired of it to
Hmm.
talk with people that got their head so far up their ass that they cannot see all the bullshit around them. And I left to Liberland, and I don't regret it a single bit. It's very beautiful here,
Hmm.
and I intend to come back one day, but not in the current conditions because it's crazy in the Netherlands at the moment. The
Yeah.
the the, the difference between here and the Netherlands couldn't be bigger. I got the feeling. I'm very lucky in my, it's all happening with how to say that correct. Some luck is involved, I guess. I make choices, of course, but it's more happening to me. It's more, it's not really for me. Liberland 3 years, 4 years, 5 years ago was a very logical next step because I tried to live
Hmm.
without a bank account, and that's what's Liberland in a way about. At least for me, they really focus on this Bitcoin. So for me, it was a very logical step. Then I come here and everybody says, "Why you want to go to Liberland? You are Dutch. You are from the most free country in the world." Yeah, look at it now. It has never
Yeah.
been the most free country in the world. It's a great marketing that they have, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's a little bit different. And than what is in the mind of people that are not from the Netherlands. Amsterdam, marijuana. But if you are actually from the Netherlands, it's a little bit different. So
Yeah.
since 2 years, I'm very happy that I'm here. Or let's say I'm even more happy that I'm here. I really hope that one day I will come back. That's why every day I try my best to explain people what they have to change for me to be part of their community. And
Yeah.
I
Good.
think that the Netherlands is on its way. The current pandemic, as Willem also likes to call it,
Nice.
is helping us in a great way. The
Yeah.
government is putting everybody into crypto. I got a feeling, and
They are.
libertarianism, and so yeah, that's. I see a bright future. I think 2022 is going to be a great year for everybody that believes in an alternative reality from the mainstream narrative. Let's call it like that. And I've got a lot of faith that one day I'll be back in Netherlands and do some nice things there.
Nice. Nice.
Um,
I hope we can welcome you back, and I hope that the Netherlands hear this, that they're losing people
well, I was
as
I
well,
was
you
on
know?
the I was on the Dutch TV last week or something. It's not the
Hmm.
first time, so they follow me.
Okay. They're
I'm
like,
not so free as I try to pretend, but
okay.
no, I'm sure that there are people in the Netherlands that also see that some change needs to be made. My biggest issue with debt money is the infinite amount you can print while we live
Yeah.
in a finite world. And that is for me the reason why let's say different, I've never really understood money because how can there always be money? If you are in the Netherlands, it's really like that. There is always money. And
Yeah.
yeah, for me personally, I don't think it's such a bad thing that there is a kind of reality check to the Dutch way of living because it was, I, 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 I believe, it's my personal understanding, that not everybody in the future of this planet can be born and live the first 18 years of its life the same way as I did because it's just too big of a footprint. That's my belief. Yeah? Um, Eleanor, is there for you also something like that, like a moral higher ground in using crypto, or is it just like, hey, it's exciting, I like the technology and I like to develop these things, or is it actually something more deep? How is your vision on crypto?
Yeah, thank you for asking. It's really heavy actually, and I think my perspective to crypto is pretty much holistic. It's political, it's social, it's going to change a lot of things, and it's not, as you were saying, it's not just an alternative imaginary world. It's actually working now. It's not that crazy. It's not. We're not talking magic spells here. We're actually. It's working, and it's been working for 13 years and developing itself. It's not just a static
Yes.
thing.
Yeah.
No, for me, the moment it really went, the light bulb went off or on is when I realized that we had money outside of governments. It's brilliant. It's not just money goes up and yay to the moon. I mean, sure, that's one side of the industry, and I'm not discrediting it. And thank you for the day traders and providing liquidity to the market. But the bigger picture for me is what motivates me every day to wake up and to be part of this. It's really the idea that we've had and I'm not the first one to say it. I think Roger Ver and others were on stage talking about the separation of money and state. We've had the separation of church and state to a relative extent, and not everywhere, but secularism. And we now have a money that evolves outside of the state. We're outside of fiat. We're it's a parallel economy where frontiers don't matter, where you live doesn't matter, your identity doesn't matter, and anyone anywhere can transact with the rest of the world. It's absolute pure financial freedom at its best, and that is what motivates me. Because
You can still use it on the black market, by the way.
also, also, also,
Yeah.
even though according to chain analysis, I think the level of because they do all this blockchain data, and they are watching these blockchains are being watched. I think it's less than 1% of all crypto transactions that are actually considered illegal.
Yeah, if we go
But
deeper into it, Johan always likes to make this point, but let's just be clear that of all criminal activities, a very small fraction is in
yeah,
crypto. And
yeah, it makes so much more sense. Like
yeah,
it's easier.
if you understand crypto, you are not going to sell coke for bitcoins because it's
No.
traceable.
Yeah. Yeah. No. If unless you have like a massive cypherpunk on your illegal activity gang, like you need an expert because the moment all these people that are like exiting and using centralized on ramps and off ramps, it's like, well, you're not even trying to be anonymous at this point, So, yeah. But no. So going back to your question, definitely for me, it's all about understanding money more and more and making that understandable to others as well. Because the moment you understand how money works or how it doesn't, once you understand the gold standard and the end of it, once you understand that the US government actually confiscated gold to everybody's gold and then kept it for themselves, increased the price of gold to increase their reserves, you're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
And this is not like 300 years ago, right? This is like 100. It's fascinating. So yeah, crypto
And
is the tool.
there are questions coming in the
Oh,
chat, by the way. Well, mm, yeah, when is Bitcoin going to 200K? That's nobody
uh,
knows, but Sean, it's not about the
maybe
dollar.
it's not supposed to go up. Why would Bitcoin? I'm sorry, I'm a bit of a Bitcoin contrarian, as you can imagine, but why would
Yeah.
Nokia go up in stock? It's like we have like
Well, no,
smartphones
I
today.
always put it in a different context. It's actually the dollar and the euro going down. And that's
Ah,
what's really going. Of course, yes, Bitcoin is growing, and the more and more assets are being transacted with Bitcoin. That's why the price is rising. But don't forget that prices are rising anyway, rather,
yeah,
and
because of the
yeah,
inflation. But there are more questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a lot. The second one was, is there a clear difference between Blockstream and blockchain?
Nice one. I'm happy that some people know the history in the chat. Yeah.
Uh,
No, I
yeah,
mean,
okay. Just Google it. There's a Wikipedia page about this, I think.
yeah.
There is also how to get more women into crypto.
How to get more women to, I think money doesn't recognize genders. It just doesn't. So for me, more women, less women, more men, less men. It's just more people. More people into crypto is what's interesting. I wouldn't specifically target any user group because, and I do, okay, and I roll back a little bit my answer because at one of my events, I actually had some women come up to me and say, oh, it would be so nice if you had just a woman's event. And I think I'm still battling with the idea because in my mind, it hurts me. Like, I understand that the market wants that. And I'm like, this is a permissionless environment. I don't want to exclude anyone. I don't want to make stuff like that. I want it to be open.
You should have said, when are you gonna organize it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
You do
do
it.
it.
Like if I
That
don't
you,
want to do it, you do it.
yeah.
But people tend to, yeah, yeah. I understand.
Ah,
I
you got your
understand. But
network. I get that also. I got that.
yeah, yeah.
Somebody asked, what will happen when the last Bitcoin is mined?
Well, all the transaction fees are going to skyrocket to, make sure that the miners keep mining it, or they will increase inflation. That's what I think the
There
developers
was a
will do.
paper last September by Gavin Andreessen, I believe, who wrote that in the end, all Bitcoins will be transacted on third-party blockchains and that it will all be
That's
tokenized
sad.
and that the Bitcoin network itself is not going to keep on making new blocks, but the Bitcoins will actually be tokenized on different.
I mean, it's already a thing. I think there's more BTC, wrapped BTC being exchanged on DEX today than on chain, right?
Yeah,
So
could be.
it's already the case, and it's sad. It's sad that those developers did not see scaling as a solution. They decided to unscale, if that's a thing.
Well,
But
but
yeah,
on the scaling part of things, I think not one blockchain can ever service the entire planet because it's too complicated. The economy
true.
is too complicated. So even if you could scale for the entire planet, there is always going to be somebody that wants to do things a little different, and they just create something new and connect it with Bitcoin, and they have their own little system. For example, when they have an event and want to sell drinks, So, um, yeah, what is your? Let me then ask the next question. What's your take on Lightning? Do you see that as a
Sorry.
improvement? Is that a
Obviously not. No, it's terrible. Terrible, horrible construction. There's a great video by Rick Falkinshaw. I'm not saying his name right.
of the
Rick
pirate
Falkinshaw.
pirate party in
Yeah, yeah. And he explains why the Lightning Network sucks. And I'm not paraphrasing him. I'm just putting
You
words in.
predicted it already
He
5
was
years ago,
brilliant.
I think.
That guy. I wonder where he is. I want to see him more. But basically, no, I don't use the Lightning Network. I think it's a terrible construction. The whole locking up funds, having to be online, these whole IOUs thingy, everybody needing to be basically watchtowers, which are going to be exchanges, which are going to be these big nodes, which are going to be big relays. It's a centralized, cumbersome thing on top of BTC. It makes no sense. But they've had to kill, I think, Bitcoin itself to sell their solution. It's like you create a problem and you sell the solution. That's the model.
yeah.
So I think,
It's like a real government.
yeah,
Yeah.
to each their own. For me, if I'm using other crypto, I agree with you. There's not one crypto for the world. So it's like, use Ethereum for different things, use Dash for others, BCH, of course. So
EFL if you're from the Netherlands.
interesting, your
Uh,
EFL thing. I haven't looked too much into it, but I'd have to look at your
Yeah,
token economics
sure,
and
Have
all
a
of
look.
that good
Have a
stuff.
look. I call it Bitcoin of the
uh,
Netherlands. It's very simple. There is no technical innovation, but it does bring more transaction bytes to Bitcoin.
Mm.
It's basically,
what,
if I call that the Lightning Network. We got a different protocol where you can do transactions with a slightly lower fee, and you connect it with Bitcoin, and you got yeah. I see that as the Lightning.
What do you think about this newer coins like Cardano, Solana, Cosmos, etc.?
So I do not give financial advice, but
Okay.
from a fundamental perspective,
Mhm.
Cardano still doesn't have smart contracts.
No.
The IOHK Foundation
Hmm?
is a very opaque system.
Hey, wait a second. Didn't they release the smart contract platform last month?
Did they? Finally, no.
Summer ago.
Alonso upgrade keeps being pushed,
Oh,
and then the smart contract capability is still not live. So for me, in terms of just global competitiveness, they're pretty low, especially for how long they've been doing this. So, the whole "Trust me, I'm a scientist" T-shirt, they really embody that. The weird. I would put Cardano and Zilliqa in the same sort of niche of certain projects, which are very like academic based, peer reviewed, but then versus the market, they're not super fast. Then Solana, I can't believe that thing is where it's at. It's just mind blowing.
Well, they're still in beta, I think.
Yeah, it's in beta. They crash the network. They just press a big restart button. It's extremely centralized, but interesting because obviously Ethereum network being so in demand and being so congested, it leaves room for others to explore. But let's remember the graveyard of things that were, supposed to be decentralized, that were supposed to be Ethereum killers, which are not here anymore. My big one I remember was 2018 was the EOS ICO, right?
Yeah.
Those were supposed, they raised 4 billion. Where are they? So for me,
Well, they still exist.
yeah, we had them.
yeah,
I believe they
sometimes
were on the
use it.
show last year, or when
Yeah, they were on the show last year. On the
the
EOS
biggest,
Nation.
the
Yeah.
biggest. What's the name of EOS? Is that forging, or how do they call it? The staking in EOS. What they have a different name.
oh, delegated proof
Yeah,
of
they
stake.
were the biggest delegate inside EOS. We got them in the show one time.
Well, it's interesting because I remember meeting Dutch block producers. So there was a group of EOS supporters that wanted to be one of the validators. But the whole 21 validators in EOS got completely gamified, and it's like the top exchanges basically are the top block producers. So very interesting. And we still haven't seen like a rollback of EOS where maybe the top validator, which is an exchange, only rolls back the chain for their clients. I mean, that would be epic. But all of this is at play.
Hey,
So,
by the way, let me
yeah.
say a thank you to everybody who is following. There
Yeah.
are many people that are clicking the button, so I haven't made any announcement about that. Thanks everybody for following. I also see another
We got a
question.
big
Yeah, do it.
question. Yeah, big one coming
Joe
in.
Handsome, take it away.
Yeah. What is the best way, in your opinion, to encourage people to pay in crypto? What methods, apps would you recommend? Is it a question of making merchants accept crypto foremost?
Good question. I think this is the chicken and egg question that every person in crypto has had to go through. Like, do we need merchants? Do we need users, etc.? We need both. We need people to think that they can spend their crypto anywhere at any time, and we need merchants to see this as a great market and good marketing and new users and just more business. So both sides have to sort of meet halfway. In terms of what apps I would use to spend, I would always recommend a non-custodian wallet. Make sure that you always have your private keys. That would be just the basic. I would use a mobile wallet just to be, it's a hot wallet. So obviously maybe a little bit less security than a cold, but if it's hot, it's just more convenient. You'll be at that bar, at that restaurant, you'll be carrying a bit of crypto with you and you can spend it. But yeah, how to incentivize people. It's difficult. I'm not gonna lie. Today it is still a very like idealistic thing to do. I think there's not many people that want to spend their cryptocurrencies. They want to hodl and not spend. But eventually those people, if they hodl long enough, they'll want to spend. So it's like
The
there's
thing
both.
is, if you don't spend it, you don't make profit either. And like Willem said at the beginning, you cannot eat bitcoins. So I mean, it's people that say, I will hold on to my Bitcoin forever. You need to explain them. It's only money when you spend it, and otherwise you have nothing. You have nothing.
Yeah,
And I personally, I think that the value of money becomes because it is money. You can buy stuff with it. I mean, what would be
absolutely.
the value of money if nobody is spending it?
Absolutely. No, that's
Yeah.
why I don't believe in the narrative that crypto is just a store of value. No, no, no. It's a store of value and a medium of exchange and a unit of account. It's all those things
Uh,
all together. I don't want to pick and choose one of the features, you know what I mean? It's like, no. And we'll see. I think it's getting more and more democratized as well. People are holding more crypto. So let's see what the onboarding curve is. I think this year a lot of people got in through the NFT space. So they've had to like buy some crypto somehow to mint and get into it. And they're seeing this whole artistic JPEG world going on. Maybe next step, those people will want to spend the crypto that they made
What
on
do
those
you think the
JPEG.
future of NFTs is gonna be? Do you
Oh,
really
it's gonna
believe we are gonna
crash. It's gonna
upload?
crash hard.
Okay, glad you see that. I believe it's the
No, it's sad. It's sad. It's great and it's sad. But every cycle of adoption gets crash and burn. Like a lot of people that joined through the ICO bubble aren't here today. They got burned.
yeah.
Same with people with NFTs. There's great adoption and then there's also the great fallout, and so but every time hopefully retain some knowledge, some cool people, and yeah, we'll see. But no, it's a kind of a crash and burn market. And when anybody's coming to me saying, oh, which NFT should I buy? I'm like, oh my God, like, just do you collect art in your life already? Like, is that if it's a
just
yeah.
just use the print screen button.
I got
Yeah.
non-fungible. I got non-fungible paint. Oh, now I'm disappearing.
You're completely
I'm a paint trader. But
there you go.
Got a real Vermeer.
unfortunately, Daniel Debek wasn't available today because he is building a decentralized marketplace with Safex, with the Safex blockchain. But okay, he's not here, so we cannot talk about it. But I am buying up paintings here in the local area to one day sell them, but real paintings, not NFTs. I also think that once the price of Ethereum starts to rise, you will see the Ethereum price of the NFTs crash. That is basically my prediction, just like all the ICOs back in 2018. So
Yeah. No, we'll see what stays from the NFT market. It's funny because I remember people talking about NFTs in 2018 in Amsterdam, and no one was interested. Like they were there talking about like these very expensive sneakers that they would put in a box and then slap a QR code on it as an NFT, and then everybody was like, "Yeah, okay." But it's in cycles. This market is cyclical, and NFTs are having their moment, and it is a cool feature. It is a cool feature that the Ethereum blockchain initially enabled. It's for me, it's not mind blowing. That's not the main thing about crypto.
yeah.
But yeah, it's a nice feature. Smart contracts are great, like really. So
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I think what's maybe maybe we can do a demonstration with if you show a QR code, we send you like a
ooh,
Little donation.
because Yoshi is now in Serbia and you
I'm
are
near
in
Liberland.
Amsterdam. Yeah.
No,
you
say
can
it.
maybe send
Say
her
it.
like a cent or something.
Johan, where am I?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Liberland,
okay.
yeah. Okay.
sorry, am I back?
You are back.
Oh, you okay?
Sorry,
We were just having a little fight about my location.
your location.
He always says I'm in
Yeah.
Serbia, but I am near Liberland.
Near Liberland. Okay. Sorry. Okay. No, my idea was maybe you Yoshi can send her like a cent in Bitcoin
Let's do it.
Cash
Sure.
and
Sure.
just to show the people how borderless it
Sure.
is, you know?
Yeah, great idea. I can
Because
also put
I
my
can't
Cointree
see
link.
you.
I'll also put my Cointree link.
Sure, go ahead.
But I'll put like here. Here you go. You see it?
No.
Yeah, Yoshi, you can
No, a
scan because
little
I
bit
can't
in the
see her.
center, please.
Let
And
me
you need to
just-
make some noise. Oh, there you go. No, it's in my. Oh, here again. I can try again. Yeah. All right, 1 cent, Johan.
Yeah, whatever. Just to show people that
That it's a thing.
what you can do with
And
crypto.
you can also see
Maybe.
all the donations that I make. Ooh, yay, received. Look how fast. Look how
It's
look how
amazing.
fast these blocks can propagate.
Have you ever experienced such a thing?
I try it. I see you now on the stream. I don't think I can scan this QR
But you
code.
can see, like, I send always €1 to
Uh,
my attendees. Um,
uh,
and it's always magical. And it starts with €1. It starts with those small amounts. It really is
No.
for us, maybe it's like, oh, okay, we're used to it, we use it, we're part of this industry already. But I swear, for people that are beginning to receive a little bit of crypto, because you can talk about money and blockchain and consensus algorithms for a long time, but giving crypto to people, it just
Also,
yeah.
that's also how it worked for me. When I read the white paper, I didn't understand anything. When I did my first transaction and saw what happened, I realized the power of the technology. And so
yeah.
that's why
And
I introduced the friend of EFL system or a bonus, let's say it like that, because it allows people to request a crypto payment, receive a crypto payment without the need for investing euros. And I believe by doing it, that will really teach. I am a guy of practice, I have to do things, I have to make mistakes and stuff like that. Sorry. I have to make my own mistakes, let's say it like that, instead of learning of other mistakes made by others. So that's why I like the alternative coins, because you can send one coin and it doesn't have to cost as much as one Bitcoin. It's a little bit expensive. Also, to do, I in my show, I do raffles and I pay about 10, I don't know, let's say 20 transactions per week.
Yeah.
So within Bitcoin Cash, that's doable. They now have the SEP20 tokens. It's a little bit more expensive, but still it's payable. Also because Bitcoin Cash is so incredibly cheap, of course. But yeah, in Bitcoin, I wouldn't be able to. I would lose all my value to the transactions basically if I would pay like that. So that's why it's nice to have alternative coins so people can try it out a little bit and not lose too much money. And yeah, if something goes wrong, I mean, because in the end, you have to expect at some point something will go wrong somewhere. I mean, that's just my intake on it. Did you ever lose bitcoins, Eleanor?
No, I was
Never.
lucky to, again, those OG people in the community, like literally my first meetup was like, this is your private keys, this is your public address. I didn't know anything, but yeah, the local school taught me how to not lose my coins because they were all Mount Goxed. So they were like, okay, you're going to learn from us and not go through that. So no, they made sure, and I made sure then to not leave too much money on centralized exchanges, to be very picky where I do my KYC and back up my private keys. So no, I haven't lost any crypto.
Great.
Yeah.
Let's keep it that way. Eh?
Good operational security. What is good operational security overall. Like when you deal with crypto, be conscious of it. Like don't this is not just another password. This is a moment. Just take it. Just make it. And take that time. And I realized that wallets and user interfaces have gone leaps and beyond since the 2014 days. So I'm not sure that I could have entered the space earlier than when I did, because when I did, things were already pretty streamlined and wallets were nice and easier to use, and the whole onboarding process wasn't as sketchy as previous wallets could be. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
There's somebody at the moment having trouble with his EFL wallet.
Yeah, that's not for
But
today.
our next guest will be Gerrit Oerlemans.
Also that, but we are not going to.
Maybe you can do a demonstration then on the.
No, we're not going to do that
TV.
today. That's not for today.
Oh.
I'm going to share a video if somebody wants to watch
Okay,
its explanation on how to make a wallet. And
Yeah.
Always good.
make sure to follow any of the Telegram channels. And then,
Yeah, he says the problem is when he fills in
no,
koppel aan
listen,
het
Johan, I don't
aan de
care. It's very
kluis, it
simple, and if
just
somebody cannot do
okay,
it now,
okay.
we're not gonna do it now. We are having a
Oh,
Bitcoin party.
okay. And he saw the video, he says.
That's why, by the way, that's why I use the Edge wallet, because I like the fact that it has multi coins in it and that you have your private keys for each.
Yeah.
So those are, but for people, it's very important to start with just downloading a wallet. And I know that it can be difficult. Not everybody's tech savvy.
Let me see if I can already add Gerrit Oerlemans to the chat.
Yeah, Gerrit says in the chat, send to the person, sent to support at e-gulden.org.
Oh, okay.
You can mail him. Yeah.
Well, Gerrit, in case you are watching live, I am calling you on Skype. Let's see if he got a question for Eleanor.
Ooh, I hope I can answer.
For some reason, my chat message isn't coming through. Can I write in the chat also or not? Let's see.
I'm reading about the EFL network, by the way. So
All right. Well, if you, I want to say this to everybody because we have a kind of a full program. I would like to, hear more about the people. Of course, I can give here, I can give an explanation on how to work with EFL, but for the next 3 months, I have been wearing this wig now for 2 years. The price of honk went up 30 times this year, and I like to support projects that didn't have this boom yet. So I am going to stream about EFL for the next 3 months, also to make this 1 million euro transaction happen. And basically, here, basically what that means is that if you have a question, feel free to
Yeah, we have a
save
question.
it up,
Yeah.
and then in the upcoming months we can go into it.
But is there room for one question?
Yeah,
No?
you can ask it.
Yeah. It's for you, Eleanor. Do you think there is room for decentralized key vaults in the future? Because mistakes do occur. People will lose keys, and the threat of that occurring will will deter people from getting into crypto thoughts. I lost.
Okay.
How many bitcoins did I lose?
Let me try again.
Lose?
Blockzilus asks to Eleanor, do you think there
Yeah.
is room for
Like-
dissent? Oh, did you read it?
Yeah, I can see it now. I can see
Okay.
it. Decentralized key vaults. I mean, currently we have centralized companies like Hopper, Fireblocks offering multi-sig at a professional level, right? But it's a very expensive service that they're offering. So I'm guessing you're probably asking if there will be like a decentralized Fireblocks solution in the future. Is that what I'm understanding? If that's the question, then yes. Yeah, multi-sig. So we already have multi-sigs, right? They can be a bit cumbersome. I believe Bitcoin.com, even mobile wallet now has multi-sig. I know that they had it on desktop. Yes to multi-sigs. I know that Electron Cash desktop has multi-sig. So it's not every wallet that is going to offer this solution, but definitely the moment you're dealing with large amounts or you're working in a team, multi-sigs are kind of necessary. So yeah, of course. And I think it's interesting, and that's the next step. First, to have your keys, and then the idea of being able to share keys with other people. Yeah.
I am
it
trying to
makes sense.
share a link with the chat. I don't really manage, so I'm sorry. I also put it in Skype for you, Johan. It's a
Okay, then I
it's
post
a
it.
video series that I created a couple years ago on how to set up a wallet. So if people have trouble setting
nice.
up a wallet, then that is I think 30 minutes of 12 videos, 3 minutes per video.
That's nice. Educational stuff for the win.
Yeah. Yeah, I've always liked to, it's not so much educating others as more like challenging myself to see if my understanding is correct. That's also, in a way,
Absolutely. I think absolutely. Me having to teach others forced me to, know things.
yeah, and you find out when you make a mistake and you say something
Yeah.
and you say, oh, it's like this, and then why is it like this? Doesn't sound right. Are you sure it's like that? And then you have to look it up again and you find out,
Yeah.
oh, I was actually wrong on my belief,
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And that's awesome
yeah.
because I like learning from doing mistakes. That's a great
Yeah,
path.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Let me see because Gerrit did not join us yet. So yeah, we are
Yeah,
waiting for that.
can I ask a question to Johan actually? Because
Oh, yeah.
yeah, we're talking most of the time to Yoshi, but tell me more about you and tell me more about Vrijheid Radio as well, because I'm discovering all this community today, and I'm also curious.
Yeah, we have. I think this year's our 10th year, 10th anniversary in the summer. I'm doing this first it was just a podcast, only audio. And a very long time ago, it was actually a program on the Dutch local radio in Heemstede and Aardenhout. That's somewhere near Haarlem. And yeah, it was also on Revolution FM radio program for a year, I think. And yeah, then we started to do it on the internet. And yeah, I'm doing this for 10 years. I started it when I think the Dutch Libertarian Party was partaking in the Dutch elections, 2012. And in the first time, I just wanted to interview the candidates. And then I decided to continue doing it and just reading the news and having our libertarian viewpoints on what's happening. And yeah, I'm doing this. And I remember the first show I already did the Bitcoin charge. Because that was 10 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
I think since that time I'm also in Bitcoin. Yeah.
wow. So who brought you to Bitcoin? How did you discover it? Through your guests or?
I had this. My mom wanted to have stevia. That's a sweetener, artificial sweetener.
Yeah.
And she got a link from somebody, and it was a .onion link. And it was a marketplace where they had all kinds of funny things.
And stevia. That's funny. All the
and you had to
chocolate and
pay.
sweetener.
Yeah, yeah. And you had to pay with this funny money called Bitcoin,
Wow.
and I had no idea what it was. But I remember some people from the Free State Project talking about it.
Yeah.
So I asked one of them if he could help me. Well, he said, yeah, you have to mine it, but
Wow.
I said, can I give you $10 and then you pay this thing on the dark web, and then anyway, to make a long story short, he did, and we got the stuff, and I had some Bitcoins left in my wallet, and he created a wallet for me. And then a few years later, I was in a party, and there was in the middle of the night, the beer was, we went through all our beer supply, and we called the beer cap. And this guy said, yeah, you can pay with yeah, all kinds of methods, including Bitcoin. He mentioned Bitcoin. I said, well, I have a few. How much beer cans can I buy? He said, well, you can buy the whole truck. And then I found out that the price went up in the last 1.5 years, I think. From a few euro to like 200 euros, I think. Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah.
Yeah, Johan was
Many
actually, he
OGs.
was in it before me.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe we're in the same time. I don't know. Actually, I don't know how much the price was because I said that I paid the guy $10. Maybe it was $20. It's very long time ago. And actually, don't know who the guy is anymore. I
Wow.
tried to find back who he was, but yeah.
Wow. Well, I know that too. Well, first of all, thanks to your mom for wanting alternatives to sugar because she brought you to crypto. And then
Yeah,
yay
yeah,
to the Free State Project peeps. I'm always that's actually kind of the reason I'm here today. Because Joel put you in touch on anything that Joel says or I'm like, yes. He was he was one of my last guests on my podcast, The Humans of Crypto, and I love his story as well. So yeah, and the Free State Project is really interesting. For you, Yoshi from Liberland, have you ever considered New Hampshire as a land of the free?
Yes, but I got some friends there, of course. I mean, as a Liberlander, they visit me here
Yeah.
quite often, and very nice people. But it's not adventurous enough. And then the land of the free, yeah, well, it's still it's inside of the United States. It's just not my country. It's not my
Okay.
style. I prefer why not build a New Hampshire somewhere in Asia or something, you know?
For decentralization, that's good actually. We need several islands of free staters.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm doing
Interesting.
my job here in
Okay.
Liberland, and I'll maintain this little decentralized hub. And then no, but
Yeah.
I support them in full, and they are making some steps in liberating themselves, but it's such a tedious process, and I don't know. I think it's easier to build a Liberland. What about that? And it's
Whoa.
not easy to do a Liberland, so
2.0.
yeah.
Yeah.
And we were also involved. I'm also involved with a project. It's a kind of Free State Project Europe.
Ooh.
And they want to buy a village in Spain.
What?
And in Spain there are a lot of villages with no people. They are the last one is gone, and so there are just a bunch of houses with nobody living in, and you can buy them very cheap. So there's a guy who wants to buy all these houses and then start a libertarian community.
Whoa. Love it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, Gerrit is in the chat. Let me just make a quick. I need to make one click, and we see Gerrit. And there he is. Also without a green screen, so I'm putting you in the television, Gerrit. It's okay. It's okay. Gerrit has joined us, the developer of EFL. Eleanor, do you? No, I should ask different. Gerrit, you've been watching. Do you have a question for Eleanor, maybe?
Yeah, many. But
well, it's your time, Gerrit. It's your time, so you decide.
I know. No. The first one that came into my mind is one I shouldn't ask is why you didn't hear about EFL yet, and why we haven't met yet. So it's a small world.
Ik weet het niet. Sorry.
No, it's a small world, but it's also a big world. I mean, we are being spoiled by all the initiatives everywhere in the world, and I don't blame you. It's
guilty as charged.
Well,
no, it's weird. You're right. Small world, yet not so small apparently. First of all, I stumble upon all of you guys today, and I'm like, wait, I don't know. For me, I think I've been living in my own little crypto bubble, and I haven't been really connecting to the libertarian side of politics in the Netherlands. But I'm very excited to meet a bunch of you today. So I look forward to future stuff. Yeah, no, really. Like for me, this is great. I'm so happy Joel put us in contact. And we'll do more stuff. We'll, now we know each other.
Okay, well, it will be the beginning of a lot of chats, I suppose.
You got each
Yoshi
other's
has all my
email now, so
contact. You got everything.
For sure. We will set it up. That's how you do it. That's why we do the show.
I was gonna say, like, should I like exit? This was my time, and I can still stay a little bit longer. But
well, maybe you have a question for Gerrit. I mean, you are welcome
ask
here.
him how long Ask him how long he's in Bitcoin.
Oh my God, you guys are all OG. You know when I said that all the Dutchies were like,
He's like the real OG.
no, but like in the Netherlands, there's something crazy.
Yeah.
Like there's so many people that were. Well, okay, go ahead. How long have you been in the space? There you go.
Before Bitcoin,
I witnessed Bitcoin develop, and
Oh my God, you're in
I've
the
been in the
cypherpunk mailing list.
No, I think really into Bitcoin. My first Bitcoin was 2011. That's
Whoa.
Okay.
Whoa. On what wallet? How did you do it? How did you get it?
Oh, that was very simple. Just download the Bitcoin Core wallet, install it, and it ran right away at that time. You didn't have to wait for all the blocks.
Synchronization of 5 minutes. 5 minutes sync.
Wow.
Yeah, it's those were the old days. That's right. And you always regret to haven't that you didn't get more into it than you could,
Oh,
because it was also valid at that time. Your first bitcoins came from a Javelino miner, and every time you got a piece of Bitcoin, it gave a sound. And these were funny things from Butterfly Labs, and it was a completely different world back then.
Wow. So Jan's mother Stevia got him into crypto. Fascinating story. What got you into the space?
I was in crypto for long before Bitcoin was on the market. I'm a software developer, and I used it to conquer one of the main problems I saw back then, which was email. Email was used to send messages, private messages over the internet, but this was not private at all.
Yeah.
The problem to encrypt a message over internet was that the recipient must publish a public key, and have private key. But the initiative of sending an email is with the sender, and the sender knows he has something secret to share with the recipient. But so you first have to elaborate a session, a private session, before you can send a private message. So it was cumbersome, and I wrote software to solve this. But at that time, it was very difficult to get it between the ears of people. People just sent email and continue to do that still in a very insecure way.
Me too.
Yeah. So were you behind like initiatives like Proton emails and those type of?
Yeah.
One of those initiatives.
But still, Proton is centralized, isn't it? So
I am not the email expert at all. I would love to hear more. You see? Damn it, the Netherlands, so much talent. So much talent.
But you know what I think
so,
is so funny? How
yeah,
everybody
so
is
interesting.
using email without asking any questions of its working. And then comes Bitcoin, and no, I cannot send any Bitcoin because I don't know how a block is made. Like, you don't know what a POP3 server is. You are using email, you know? So what's the big issue with...
Is it money?
Yeah, you don't need to know how it works. The most important is that it works, you know, and that you can use it. But with Bitcoin, it's different somehow. They all want to know the details, and
I think because it's money, it hits differently psychologically. People are like, "Oh, no one's going to care about my, plans for the week or something like that." But then, I mean, that's another debate.
But you say it's money, but Bitcoin can be used for money. Bitcoin is much more than money. Imagine money. What's money? It's a coin or something. But this is Bitcoin has taken money to a much higher level, but it's not money as such. It's a software program. It's a network. It's you can do much more than using it only for money.
True, but that's why I think understanding it is maybe more of a priority for people that stumble upon it. I don't know. Maybe it's just cultural that no one questions emails, and then people are very baffled by cryptocurrencies. I don't know.
I'm just
I don't
talking
know.
from my experience here, so that's just how I, yeah. Here is Bitcoin. I sent you some crypto. Here's your wallet. Let's use it. Yeah, but how does it work? That doesn't matter. You got them now. It's no, but I want to know how it works. And then I'm like, do you want to know how Facebook works? Do you want to know how email works? Why do you specifically want to know how this works? And all the other things you are just using without any question. So
Maybe it's all the FUD. All the normal mainstream media has scared people. So maybe that's why. Maybe there's more. Yeah.
They've
there's
been
some-
programmed to question it.
Yeah. Well, they're like, oh, I'm not a criminal, so I want to make sure that what I'm doing is not criminal. And I'm happy that they're asking questions. That's good. I answer questions, so that's good for me. As long as people want to learn and stay educated, I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about questions. There are questions in the chat. Somebody is asking, and I have to look for the question now. Yeah, here it is. How will one handle the risk management when it comes to securing the transaction records? Yeah, that's an easy one. I think it's to Garrett.
Yeah, let me see if I understand the question. There are a lot of words, but it's for me it's not a real question.
Yeah, securing the transactions. I think that's the guy hasn't heard of blockchain.
Yeah, I'm like it's.
Yeah, the principle of blockchain is that transactions are secured. So
Yeah, by sharing it in a decentralized manner, so there is not one single point of failure. That would be my answer.
Yeah, and the next question is, where can you buy e-guldens?
Yeah. I will share another.
now,
link.
well, the where we can buy e-guldens is from holders to begin with, because it's a decentralized currency. It's peer-to-peer, so you have to be with peers to buy it. If you want to buy it we've made sure that in the past 8 years, 7.5 years, there was always a set of markets available where you can buy EFL.
I'm trying to share a link, but it's still I'm not connected to the chat and Twitch for some reason.
Okay, but just go to e-gulden.org.
Oh yeah, that's also good.
There you've got all the exchanges. There are 3 at the moment: Free Exchange, Unnamed Exchange, and last but not least, Atomic DEX.
Decentralized market. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe this is a good. Eleanor, you have any more questions?
No, I'm
Yeah.
good.
Well,
I'm sure you have.
No, I know everything. I know everyone.
I will not kick you out. You can just say as long as you like. But at some point, Willem is going to enter the chat, and then I'm gonna have to replace you. I think something like that. So
I will scooch. I will get on with my business. But thank you so much for having me today, for taking the time to celebrate, 13 years of a immutable, permissionless blockchain. Even though I'm a big Bitcoin critic, we owe it a lot for being one of the first movers and for inspiring a whole generation basically to believe that we can't have money outside of the government, outside of the banks. So
you practiced that sentence. I
did not. I just do this
beautiful.
all the time.
I'm gonna make a highlight clip just for that.
I just live crypto a bit too much, but I'm very thankful to this space and for all the people I've met along the way. And these celebrations are so nice because we're all over the world, yet somehow we're also very close to each other, but we don't know each other. But I love this. And I with my community, I was also trying to foster this realization that even though we are all over the place and we have different reasons for being in crypto, we do share an underlying, there's something there and it's tangible and it's, called crypto and blockchain. So thank you for having me.
Let's stay in touch. This is just the start of something beautiful.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
let's see it like that.
Yeah, and I hope I can organize events very soon. Join the CryptoCanal Telegram group, the meetup. you name it.
Cool.
I look forward to staying in contact and doing more political stuff as well, because there's no fooling each other. Crypto is a political instrument as well. So
Yeah, with the entrance of El Salvador in the crypto market, I really think that the political moment for
No.
crypto has come in a way.
not my favorite example, but we can talk about that another time over a beer. All right, guys, have a wonderful birthday celebration. Thank you for having me. Tot straks.
All right, Eleanor.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thanks for being
Nice
here.
to
Bye bye.
meet.